The only shade I'm giving is the shade coming from my halo. Not all bears eat berries and fish. I prefer a diet of bourbon and bad behavior. Hello! I'm Hunter Harden.
And I'm Papa the Bear.
And welcome to The Real Housebears.
Are you going to come to my love bubble party? Your homo podcast going to come to my love bubble party with me and Louie?
I can't believe Teresa calls us a homo podcast too.
You're not going to bust my love bubble, are you?
No, if you call me a homo podcast, I might.
You know that girl that was in the bubble in the pool?
Yeah.
She's still there. Because you know what? She ain't going to bust my love bubble.
No, she is not. No one can bust that love bubble.
I want to be in my love bubble. That's our party's the love bubble. I'm having a love bubble housewarming party.
I had a feeling it was going to have something to do with love. I wasn't sure if it was love.
Well, the love bubble thing came back. Her whole love bubble thing. So I figured I'd have to do something about love bubble.
It was the most obvious choice that I didn't even think of for it right away.
I was even thinking about coming on as the sprinkler. Because, you know, like, I keep having to do Teresa and Louie and, like, somebody else in that band. So I was going to come on as the sprinkler.
Oh, my God. I totally wish you would have come on as the sprinkler.
I just didn't have a good enough spit, take to, do that. I didn't have enough time to, build up a character. It was, right off the broom.
That is some character that takes some deep inner development.
Maybe
retrospection.
You know, they blamed me for the ruining of the party, but those ladies ruined the party. Do you know how hard it is to be a sprinkler, to spit water out of your mouth?
He's a drama queen.
It is hard.
My cousin in California can't even do it. Drought. Can't even do it. Can't even find a job. So you guys should be grateful I'm spitting water out of my mouth. Everybody at this party needs water.
Especially when he normally swallows.
I always spit. I always spit. I am the sprinkler. I spit. I take a gulp and then I spit. See, that worked. I still got to bring on the sprinkler.
See, the sprinkler lives.
This is like SNL. Very, very low budget, no comedian style kind of.
No writers.
Probably not even funny. Some of the SNL episodes.
Well, that could be a whole other podcast. We gotta do a whole other podcast just about that Woody Harrelson episode last week.
We could do a whole episode just about the Pedro Pascal episode. That episode was to have such an amazing, perfect episode, where it actually, that Lisa from Temecula episode, grinding the steak, reminded me of old SNL, where they didn't take themselves seriously. They just did gag jokes a lot instead of getting
And they had great recurring characters. She'll be back.
Yeah. Well, I did hear that Lauren Michaels was the one that said, I named her Lisa from Temecula because they were just going to call it the birthday party, but he said he wants her as a recurring character.
It's going to be great.
Cook my meat.
Well, I mean, since we're talking about it, that's a great. We talked about Pedro Pascal on Bald and Bingeable. So I had the most great pleasure of being on the Bald and Bingeable podcast with Angelo, which Hunter has been on before.
Yes. This was the first podcast that you didn't weasel your way into my podcasting time.
Yeah, this is the first time that I wasn't Hunter Harden's husband.
Guest.
I was the subject, I guess, or the actual guest of the podcast. And he and I are already best friends.
You guys talked an extra half hour longer than the episode was supposed to be.
We talked so much Bravo, so much Housewives. So after you're done listening to this episode of ours, go listen to Bald and Bingeable with me and Angelo from last week. But we were talking about Pedro Pascal, and I was saying how I didn't know how sexy he was until I found out he was funny.
Yeah, same here. I forget that he's been in so many shows.
Oh my gosh! Just this weekend we saw some YouTube videos where What? He was in that too?
I didn't realize he was the Viper on Game of Thrones. You know, like I didn't put anything together until he just looks so different in all of them. I just didn't put it all together. And plus, he just wasn't on my radar.
Well, he certainly is now.
He's coming back to play the Mandalorian again, which is very exciting.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah, and he deserves it. He is such a good human. Like, just a person. I fell in love with him as a person.
Yeah, that's what made him sexy.
Yeah, I just love him to death. Yeah.
You know, I mean, everyone else probably already thought he was sexy, but I was like, okay, he's fine. He's also, you know, he's great. But then once I found out, once I've learned more about his personality, and especially how funny he is, I'm like, yeah, come take me.
Yeah. You know? I mean, he was in a Sia video with Heidi Klum.
Yes!
Who knew?
No one knew but Sia, Klum, and Heidi Klum.
Stranger Things, right?
No one knew but those three. So, y'all, I just have to go ahead. While I'm thinking about it, the next few weeks are going to be wild for the Bears.
Yes, my schedule starts picking up very quickly.
We got a lot going on. I've got work trips. We both are going to the Texas Bear Roundup in Dallas the weekend of March 17th and 18th.
Yes.
With that being said, if you're going to be at TBRU, come say hello to us.
Yes, please.
Please, if you see us in Dallas, or anywhere for that matter.
We're more scared of you than you are of us.
But nothing also makes us happier than meeting people who listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, that's the greatest thrill. And it's also a great thrill for us that we're both been invited to like judge and participate in the underwear auction.
Yes.
So we're excited to be there. So if we see you there, or if you see us, come say hi.
To the 5 gay men that listen to us, I think.
Sure. And then where are you going from there?
From there, I'm staying in Dallas for that full week and then flying to Seattle. And the next day, flying to Denver. So Seattle Friday, Denver Saturday. And then after that, I'm just kind of all over the place. I might be in New York this year, too. What?
Woohoo! So the reason why I'm bringing all that up is, again, if you're at any of these events, please say hello to us, to our 5 gay listeners. But also, we don't know what our schedule is going to look like. We might not be coming out on time. Yeah. We might not have the impeccable sound quality of the Hot Closet. We might not have edits. So we're not really sure how it's going to look for the next few weeks.
Especially for that weekend after March 18th, because we're both away from each other for a full week.
I mean, we might try to zoom it in. We don't know how it's going to look. We don't know how it's going to look.
That might be cute.
So, just a heads up about that. Thank you for your patience. Not that, I mean, people don't oftentimes listen right away anyway,
but still, I think more people like it when we come out right away with episodes.
I agree. So we will work on that. We will be much more on time than getting taglines for this Housewarming History Lesson episode.
It took a while.
4 episodes.
Ooh, geez.
4 episodes in before we finally get taglines.
But you're not upset about it, right?
Of course I'm livid. I'm also a little upset that some of the taglines are awesome, but their delivery is real like, la, 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 la. I'm like, no, put some, make me believe it. Make me believe it.
Oh my goodness.
So let's break them apart.
Not everybody can be amazing vocalist actors like ourselves.
Right. Vocaliticians.
I mean, I'm the sprinkler. I did that beautifully. I did Teresa beautifully.
It's like she's in the room. Well, Melissa is the first tagline, which is...
You'll never see how toxic someone is until you breathe fresher air.
I like what she's saying. It really is her story this whole season so far.
I definitely know who it's about.
Yeah, but she's disengaging from Teresa.
She's over it.
And, I mean, it's pretty brutal. Toxic's a pretty ugly word, but...
But when it's sang by Britney Spears, it's so good.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And Melissa Gorga is a pop star in her own right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you totally turning around? It's one of my favorites.
Oh, I love it.
The next one is our Queen of New Jersey, Dolores.
This Jersey girl has the luck of the Irish, and nobody's screwing with my pot of gold.
I think it's perfect.
Listen, my birthday's the day after St. Patty's Day, so this is right up my alley.
I like that she's in love. We haven't really seen her in love like this. Because with David, it was not like this.
No. Paul's a completely different breed of guy that she's been dating.
So I love her tagline because I'm so thrilled for her to be so happy.
Yeah.
Margaret was the next tagline.
I'm a loyal friend and a lethal enemy.
I think it's great.
I
think it because she has a sharp tongue.
Yeah, and she's tired of it. She's like, whatever, if you're going to be my enemy, watch it.
Her and Jennifer Aiden both. That's why they hate each other so much, because they both have the sharpest of tongues towards each other. But I think it's great. But I think if I remember correctly, hers was one delivery where I was like, it's right, you're speaking it way down here. Like, just bring it up a little bit so it has some energy in it.
I can't believe you say she sounds like a man.
I didn't have it. Had nothing to do with gender. Silly. Rachel is next.
I'm too busy running a business to care about yours.
Rachel Fuda.
I liked her tagline completely, but her delivery, it's just, there's a big pause. There's like an extra long pause.
Yes.
I'm too busy running a business
Jennifer Aiden does the same thing.
to care about yours.
That was a long pause. Jeez.
But I like it. I like
right.
it nonetheless. So far, not one that I don't like. We got Jennifer Aiden's next.
Payback's a bitch.
What do you think? So start barking.
I don't like this one.
You don't like it?
I'm not a fan of it because, to be honest with you, I mean, I just don't like Jennifer. I just think she is a B word, I guess.
But here's the thing. Well, she is.
I know, but it's just.
But you know what?
It's not a good thing to be.
I get more sound bites out of her than anyone else on the cast.
Yeah,
she's
sure.
funniest. I'm learning I'm learning to like her for what she really does bring to the show now. We're not going to have Teresa and Melissa forever.
Oh, I know.
So I kind of like it because I've never heard it before. It's a new take on that phrase that I'd never heard before. Oh, it looks like we skipped Danielle. She was after Dolores and for Margaret. So let's go back and do Danielle.
I may be over the top, but I'd rather be bougie than basic.
This is a perfect.
Yeah, this is perfect for her.
Tagline.
This is perfect
Get
for her.
your brand out
Yeah,
there.
she's bougie. The little kid's brand.
I may be over the top, but that sounds very much like early season Teresa. Very much like early season Teresa. So I think it's perfect. Smart. All right, and then with Teresa, she was another one who did it. Blood may be thicker than water.
I do agree. Hers was very monotoned.
But it's harder to clean when it spills.
Blood may be thicker than water, but it's harder to clean when it spills.
It's a good tagline, just bad delivery.
And it's also great for Italians. So,
I guess I
blood-
did like all the tag. I liked all of them. It was just the
did.
delivery that was tough for me.
I think you said that before you started.
I didn't realize that I liked all of them. I thought I liked most of them, but now I realize that I like all of them.
He says things sometimes that you question.
Well, let's get into this housewarming history lesson. Looks like some of the guys learned a lesson at guys' night the night before. In particular, maybe John Fuda.
John Fuda.
He's like wasted at 1:30 in the morning.
But he says that he drank the most.
Yes. Except Nate's like, oh, that was the weakest initiation ever.
No.
Yeah, I think
That's what Nate says when he gets home.
yeah.
But yeah, I love it that when Joe B comes home, he just gets right into bed. He's like, all right, let's get in bed, get naked.
That would be me.
Yeah, that's
that
you.
would be me. Get naked.
Yeah, that's you.
At Teresa's new house, they're getting ready for the love bubble party.
La bubble.
Louis fills Teresa in on the tension with Joe last night, and Teresa's like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Your family's been so nice to me.
How dare he talk to you that way?
And over at Joe and Melissa's upcoming new house, Joe's building it by hand,
Well, babe,
at least for camera.
I would not want to be at a construction site the day after drinking.
Oh, no.
That's horrible.
No. Joe tells Melissa about Louis bringing up the podcast. And then Melissa, off camera, explains exactly what we explained last
About
week.
what they meant about putting food on the table.
It wasn't like literal, people.
Yeah, they filled in the spots where you couldn't. Anyways, I don't hate this. I hate talking about it because
You know what? I'm so glad that... jumping way ahead, I'm so glad that Joe did not go to this party.
Me too.
I'm so glad that this party was not about Joe and Teresa. I mean, it was, but not about them yelling at each other, having conflict with each other, and the incredible tension between them that's so palpable. So how many times did Joe say F you?
Countless
times.
Countless times.
And then Louis tells them about how upset they are that Melissa's family wasn't invited. And Teresa's like, well, if Melissa wasn't asked to be in the wedding because I'm not close to Melissa.
Why would I invite her family?
Yeah.
Which just shows how vindictive Teresa is. But even Louis like, well, I do know that they were there for your mom and dad a lot. So I feel like you kind of need to give them a little bit of a doubt. And she doesn't hear that for a second and just says, well, how come she didn't invite your family to her daughter's 16th birthday party? Like, are they close? Do they know each other? Like, it's a 16th birthday party. It's not a wedding of joining families.
A wedding is the biggest deal in families.
It's joining families
it's
together.
The biggest deal.
It's ridiculous. Teresa will never... Teresa's the least self-reflective person on the show, for sure.
I like, though, that Louis sometimes is rational with her.
But he also sometimes fuels the fire where he shouldn't be doing that.
Absolutely. Well, whereas Teresa blames Melissa for the break in her relationship with Joe, Joe blames Louis.
Yeah.
It wasn't this bad until Louis got around. But Louis encourages Teresa to call Joe.
Yeah.
If he wants to move on, we'll move on. Let's just see if he answers.
Teresa's hesitant, of course, and she calls and blah, blah, blah. And she's always like, well, I'm surprised he even answered.
But he's cold.
Yeah.
Joe is cold. Teresa, but also Teresa calls and she has nothing to say. I hate it.
Well, I know she calls and he's like, well,
me.
what's up? And she's just like, well, you tell me. It's like, you called me.
I hate it when people call me with nothing to say.
I find this whole thing like annoying.
Oh, it infuriates me. I don't want to be on the phone in the first place.
I hate being on the phone. I hate being on the phone.
But, well, except for people, people that I love and my friends.
No.
Well, like Mary and I could talk for hours.
No. I hate being on the phone. Everybody, that's truth.
Well, I like to be on
for
the phone
both
with
of
some
us.
people.
No, you don't. You hate it.
Anyhow, not if they've called me with nothing to say. That is for dang sure. But they do kind of talk about it because Louis is writing down prompts for Teresa.
He's done that before.
How are you 50 years old?
How are you an adult?
How is Teresa? She just turned 50 years old. How is she 50 and unable to communicate like an adult? I mean, and not that Joe is doing any better. Listen, it's impossible to be on anyone's side right now.
Actually, no, I'm on Joe's side because if you remember that reunion, it was bad.
Yeah, you're right.
It was bad.
You're right.
And you can tell that Joe is hurt that this has all happened. Teresa doesn't understand what's going on. She just wants to be right.
And she wants to be able to... She said sorry once and she wants it to all be dropped.
She's a professional victim.
I don't know. I'm happy in my life. I'm all about love, love, love. So when people are trying to hurt me, it upsets me.
Well, Well, they talk for a minute. Joe's not sure if he's going to the housewarming party. It was a real tough phone call. But Teresa does say, I love you at the end, and he does reply in kind. So at least there's that. At Dolores' house, Frankie Jr. is being the man of the house.
There's a lot of juniors. Frankie Jr., Louis Jr.
Yeah.
But there's probably a Paulie Jr. in there.
Probably. And Valerie, Dolores' mom, comes over. Did you see that Dolores' dog's name is Dog?
That's so Dolores.
Right? Dolores' mom is being like her version of healthy. Mm-hmm. Like she thinks that because she sacrifices a thing or two, like she's really making a difference.
Well, she's not eating cake every day.
And that is major for her.
I had no idea people
It doesn't
eat cake
mean
every day.
It doesn't. Well, I mean, she, it looks to me like she
Hostess
has.
cakes, yum.
It looks to me like she's lost some weight since the big health scare before.
Well, I bet she's eating healthier than before.
But some people just don't have a concept of what it means to be healthy. They just think, oh, I'm not eating cake every day, so I'm fine. It doesn't matter all the other things.
It's probably not just that.
Well, yeah. But I've met some people who just really have no clue of what? You mean I can't eat this?
When I was on a diet and I went shopping with you, it was a nightmare because even if it says it's healthy on the box, it's not healthy at all.
It depends on what you're trying to do.
Everything. You could have vegetables and chicken. That's it.
Hot meat coming through.
I mean,
No sauces. No, you can't even have sauces on it because sauces have sugar in it. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I hate dieting. It's the worst thing that has ever happened to mankind.
You poor thing. It's tough when you can't have Zaxby's every day.
Well, it's tough when I have to order crap, and then my husband across the seat from me orders the biggest fried steak known to man with gravy
all right, let's get
dripping
back
off
to
the
the
edges.
Housewives.
Love, love, love.
They start talking about the relationship with Frank and Paul. And Dolores is like, for 27 years, I put my family, including Frank, first.
Even though he didn't deserve it.
Now it's my time.
Yes, ma'am. Get yourself some.
Even Frank can't argue with that.
No,
you just can't.
He has no leg, no
leg
room,
to stand on.
no room, no leg to stand.
At Biagio's, it's a dark and rainy night as the Aidens arrive.
Ooh, that gave me goosebumps. Yes, that was scary.
They order a Cabernet Justin, which they have a child named Justin, and that's what most people don't know is my actual first name.
Their first mistake of the night.
Now that you all know, I have to kill you. Jennifer got Justin a party bus for prom, and Bill's like, you spoiled them. And she's like, I'm okay with spoiling them right now.
They went through a hard time last year, so I'm going to make sure I'm the favorite parent.
She says, I don't want them to ever feel something that makes them feel sad. And I'm like, not getting a party bus? I mean,
Honey.
Any child should never expect a party bus.
No.
I mean, I guess if you live in Caesar's Palace of New Jersey, I guess you expect a party bus. But when she says, I don't want to do anything that makes them feel sad, Bill's like, well, maybe you need to deal with your own issues.
Ooh, she gets pissed instantly.
I'm glad it said we need to assume it's always something that I did. What about your issues, Bill? What about the Ferrari you just bought? And you and I and Bill, all three of us, just looked at each other and like, where did that come from?
I know. I was like, we moved. I was like, wait, a
Bill
Ferrari?
looked through the television and looked at us. He's like, guys, do you have a clue
guys know
what she
what's
is talking
happening
about?
here?
And we're like,
No.
Give me another hit of that. But Jennifer is really hurt that Bill just doesn't blindly build her up, just doesn't blindly gas her up and defend everything that she says and does.
And Bill's like, all right, fine, F the girl, screw her, she's dumb, blah, blah. And she's like, that's what I need. And it's like, honey, you're wrong, and you need to stop lashing out at other people, but you cannot tell her that.
Because you know what? She's self-reflective enough. She doesn't need that from him.
She's the most self-reflective person on this planet.
The most self-reflective person I've ever
But she feels like he will always take her for granted because she will just apologize no matter what. And that's a scary thing that she says right there, because I feel like that's another step towards them breaking up in the future, because she's never going to let him go. Let him be she's never going to get over this infidelity, and she's going to keep lashing out at him, at him.
She's never going to get over the fact that it became public.
Yeah.
And she's mad at him because he did it.
Uh-huh.
I feel like they probably managed it pretty well until it came out on the show.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously it did.
And now it's just, they can't.
That's all now that's all Jennifer thinks anybody thinks of her.
And now it's worse because the kids have to know about it.
And now she wants him to pay for it because she has to go through it. But how much more is he going to pay for it?
I don't know. I mean, if you decide you're going to forgive someone, you have to put in the work to forgive them.
Yeah.
And then conversely, the offending person has to have the patience and realize that their healing isn't on their timeline either. So it works both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was deep, wasn't it?
That was a good job.
You know what?
Did you black out for a second?
Yeah, I think I need a break.
Your nose is bleeding. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think I might need a break. That was...
It got you lightheaded.
Took a lot out of you guys.
You're so dumb.
All right, well, let's go refuel and come back and get ready to go to Sophia restaurant.
All right, bye.
All right, go get a drink, guys.
And we're back.
We are back, and I'm so glad that we get a scene with Jen Fessler. She's like our fave now.
Yeah, she's the first one that has reached out to us and liked us from this, besides Frank, but of the new girls.
She has liked our post. She DM'd us.
Mm-hmm.
So sweet.
But listen, I got to give it to Frank Catania. Every single time I post something, he's the first one to like it.
Frank Catania, literally over any of our listeners.
He's
Frank
the first one to
Catania
like it.
Is the first to like our
It's
posts.
so funny. I am so in love with him.
But Jennifer Fessler is our favorite New Jersey housewife.
Of the new girls. Thank you, Jen Fessler.
Thank you. Not to mention the fact that she's just funny.
Yeah, I like her.
And this is I love this is our first time to get to see her dressed up. Mm-hmm. I love her hair and makeup all done up. She looks great in the scene.
Before we get into it and I go off on a tangent, we're wearing our Cocaine Bear t-shirts.
Yes.
But we actually got these shirts before Cocaine Bear was a movie.
Yeah, we were Cocaine Bears before Cocaine Bear was cool.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, what do you think? I'm gonna walk around stoned all day?
So in Kentucky, there's a store called Kentucky for Kentucky that actually has that Cocaine Bear.
The taxidermy
Cocaine Bear there. And they had all these shirts that said Cokie the Bear, don't do drugs and stuff. And Corey's Cocaine Bear that looks like the Coca-Cola logo. But anyways, we saw it first. We're total cocaine bearites. Thank you. We were the first cocaine bears. But anyways, the movie was really good.
Yeah,
it was gory. I didn't think how gory it was going to be. That's what I think made it good was the gore. Because if it was them just getting dragged off into the woods and you don't see anything,
I'm
bored.
Yeah, I'm not being kind of stupid. But let's get back to Jennifer Fessler and Rachel.
Sorry.
That's okay.
People are here for movie updates.
Is that what we are?
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
People need to know.
Thanks for calling Movie Phone.
Movie phone.
OMG.
All right. So Rachel and Jen Fessler clicked right away.
Jennifer does not share food. She eats all the food. I love it.
She's a Joey.
She's a Joey.
She's a Joey.
When she's
She
like,
does
oh,
not
do you want to
food.
share that pizza? You could see in her head, I don't know. I don't share food.
This is mine. Thank you.
I'm not trying to be rude,
I
but
love
if
it
you
even
reach
more.
over for my pizza, I'm gonna bite you.
Yes.
I love a girl that's gonna eat.
Well, you know what? Knowing that she used to be over 200 pounds, she's probably that might be she could be taking the rest of that home and that's her food for the day. You don't know how thoughtful she has to be about food because she's obviously lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, she looks good.
So it could be something like, hey, I've counted these calories today. Don't you mess with my math.
I'm eating this sex cheese. I'm going to eat all of the sex cheese.
And the return of the sex cheese. Well, they do talk about the sex cheese party, and Jennifer Aiden made a really rude comment to Rachel about her nose job.
Yeah, not very PC, not very subtle either.
Yeah, and considering Jennifer's nose job situation last season, which I think has settled quite nicely, by the way, that's just rude.
Yeah.
That's hateful. So Jennifer called Rachel after the party to apologize and to talk crap about Margaret. Well, Jennifer Aiden also called Jen Fessler.
Asked her about marriage therapy first. That's that she needs a gateway.
Yeah.
She needs a gateway to talk to him. But then she's immediately going to just talk crap.
She's like, Jen Fessler, do you know where I can get therapy for my nose? I mean,
But that is such Jennifer. Like Jennifer doing this is so high school. Like calling all the other girls and letting know all about the other girls' secrets and like her downfalls and stuff. It's just really mean girl bitch.
It is.
And I don't like it at all.
You don't have to like it.
I will never like it.
You don't have to, and no one's going to make you.
Everybody's trying, and it's very upsetting.
Well, Jennifer Fessler's like, I've been like besties with Margaret for 3 years, so I don't know why she was trying to call me. She's saying I wasn't going to tell Margaret.
I know.
I mean, she has to know. Jennifer Aiden couldn't possibly call either of them thinking that they're not going to tell Margaret, unless she's thinking, oh, they're the new girls. They'll keep their mouth shut.
No, I just think she's just being mean, and she doesn't think further than that.
Okay.
I think that she doesn't think further than that.
All right. Well, over at Plant Shed Flowers, Dolores and Margaret looking for housewarming gifts for Teresa and Louie. They immediately get into guys' night. They know that Joe is not feeling very emotionally well.
They all think that it was really not okay to not invite Melissa's family.
Yeah. You know, again, I would just wish I had more time since the reunion to heal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. It all just recently happened.
Yeah,
that's
Teresa just had to get married and said they couldn't stop. And this is sad. Everyone is sad about
Everybody's they could see how bad it's hurting Joe. They could even see how bad it hurt Melissa.
Yeah.
Because Melissa's family was there for the family, both families.
Well, let's move to something much happier, the Love Bubble Party.
Baby steps.
Love, 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 love.
Don't bust my bubble.
I would never try to bust your butt. She is living for the dancing girl in the bubble. Like, that's the coolest thing any of them have ever seen. I want to know how she breathes in that bubble.
I think there's enough oxygen in there, but maybe after like half hour, maybe you need to get her out.
I don't know.
Is she still in there?
You said she was.
I didn't. Teresa did.
I like when Melania comes out in her short skirt. Teresa's like, the shorter the better.
Get it, girl.
I'm like, that's words to live by. That's the words I do live by.
That's where, when you're going to the gym, I'm like, your shorts are a little too short, honey.
I'm like,
you love some shortness.
Listen, I gotta show off these legs while I still can.
You better show off those hands.
While Melissa is getting ready, Joe FaceTimes her to tell her that he's not going. And, you know, he's like, I just can't fake it.
And I just don't want to go through talking this bull with her anymore. I'm just tired of it.
I know it's going to be a big deal for everyone, but I think it was the smartest choice.
But I do think Melissa's going to hold that over his head later.
Teresa,
I mean.
Probably. Yeah. Well, you know what? At this point, we all know how it ends. So at this point, we're all just kind of waiting for it to end, right?
I think so.
I think we're all collectively just waiting for the end of this season to find out what to see the big moment.
What's going to happen at the end?
Yeah. Well, anyhow, Teresa and the family are sad that Joe's not coming. He's missing milestones. He is the only family member. Melissa, meanwhile, she's like, I'll go for a short time. I'll have a glass of wine and then I'm out since you're not going to be there. Then we have all of the arrivals at the Love Bubble Party. Jennifer Aiden brought a tree of life.
Which Margaret just makes fun of the whole time.
Of course. Margaret, Jackie, and Dolores step aside, and Margaret immediately tells them about Jennifer Aiden trying to crawl up Jennifer Fessler's butt, she said, by, talking and all that kind of stuff. And then Melissa arrives last.
And, you could kind of see, Teresa's like, oh, Melissa showed up. Now I can't hold this against her later.
Oh, she's like, oh, Melissa's coming. I can't wait. I'm glad she's coming. She's coming.
Mm-hmm.
You don't care that she's going to be there.
You don't care.
Frank won't be able to make it, which is probably a good thing since Paulie's there. And Dolores just tells the lady, she's like, listen, I'm okay with distancing myself from Frank.
Frank will get over it.
Yeah, you could tell that Dolores doesn't have any time for it.
That's what I got to do.
Listen, that's
she's been
tough.
taking care of her ex-husband.
Yeah, she's been doing that. He's been having the time of his life with all these 20-year-olds breaking headboards and stuff. She's been at home taking care of kids.
Yeah.
It's time for her to break some headboards, honey.
It is time for her to break some headboards. You know what? You're right.
Amen.
It is time for
Get
Dolores.
yourself some, Dolores.
You better break a headboard, Dolores.
Paul looks like he can give it.
I bet you Paulie can give it. He seems like he's got some pent-up anger he needs to let out.
Amen, sister.
Melissa talks to Gia and Gabriella, and it's
so awkward and hard.
Oh, I hate it.
I hate it. It's so uncomfortable.
I hate it.
And I think that was the first, like, trigger that Melissa had, because she can tell how awkward it is, and it didn't used to be like that, and she hates that.
Absolutely, she hates it. Absolutely. But at least Gia, in particular, didn't try to start a fight with her.
Yeah.
Because, normally Gia, she's like her mother. She can't really hold her thoughts in too well. So I was so glad that happened.
Yeah.
But I'm not so glad that they had such an uncomfortable...
It sucks.
Louis and Teresa get up on, like, this tabletop for a toast, and Teresa tells everyone who's there that their chosen family...
This is the people she wants to be there. The people that are there. She
wouldn't want anybody else. Because this is the chosen family.
She didn't have to say any of that. She could have just said, thank you all for being here and being so kind to us and supporting us, blah, blah, blah. She didn't have to say anything about family. She didn't have to say anything about chosen family. But, Teresa just...
But I wonder, I hate to be devil's advocate for that, but since Joe really is the only family member, and Teresa has been at a lot of family activities where she doesn't even have any living family to be there. And, people like us who are in the gay community, oftentimes, they pick their family when they don't have a family who maybe supports them or whatever.
Their chosen family, yeah.
So I kind of, even though a lot of people really saw it as an intentional dig about Joe not being there, it could have just been this thing that Teresa's been talking about a lot lately. Mm-hmm. I
think both.
Yeah, I normally think that Teresa can be pretty cruel in a lot of ways, but at that moment I was like, I can see why people are taking it personally against Joe, but I can also see that maybe Teresa's just been having these conversations a lot because her whole family is dead.
Yes. That makes complete sense.
Yeah. So everyone else seemed to just see right through it, and Melissa just really gets overwhelmed.
We just talked it out. But not everyone else there thought it was completely a stab in the back. Melissa's crying.
Even Bill Aiden, who is like besties with Louis right now.
Yeah, Billy screamed out
about Joe.
We miss you, Joe.
You know who got really pissed off about it? The sprinklers.
Those sprinklers came on to do a job that they were told to do. They keep things alive. They are like parents.
And they come on when you tell them to come on.
And you know what? You stop them from doing their job.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Well, Melissa comes back outside after, going inside of the bathroom when she gets overwhelmed. And she fills Jackie in on her conversation with Danielle. And this is the second time this season someone's like, I hear someone talking about me right behind my back.
I know. They're all very loud and it's not a big space.
And they're like right behind each other.
Yeah.
So Danielle comes over, the whole family kind of gets, the whole cast gets so in there. And Jackie is just so mad she's not on this show.
And Jackie,
she's drunk.
She's very contradicting to what she has said before and done.
Yeah. She's a little drunk right now.
But she's irritated. She uses Danielle using her hands to speak because she's Staten Island. As something to quit trying to attack me. What, are you crazy? So they're not going to be friends.
No, they're not.
No.
And then the conversation turns to Jennifer Aiden calling Jennifer Fessler, and Jennifer Aiden's trying to reason through all of that, and then Rachel jumps in. She's like, well, you did the same thing to me, and you were also talking about Dolores.
And Jennifer's like, I'm allowed to state facts. And it's like, you're literally calling everybody to talk crap about people behind their backs.
She says, well, first I just called, people talked about my terrible nose job, so I'm sorry for talking about your terrible nose job.
And everybody's like, wait, what? Has she said she's got a terrible nose job?
No.
My God, Jennifer, you are such a mean girl.
That was vicious.
It was so nasty.
That was vicious. So Jennifer and Margaret and Rachel really just end up yelling over each other. Jennifer calls Rachel an idiot.
But Jennifer's honestly getting called out by everyone. And do you see Dolores this whole time? Dolores just knows who Jennifer is, and she's getting a kick out of how horrible Jennifer is. She's just like, you're just crazy. Like, you're I have no time for this. You are such a joke.
I know I said it before, but I'm not looking forward to Jennifer and Dolores reconcling. I
don't think they should.
I like them being on opposite teams.
Yeah, because Dolores doesn't have time. She's not going to stoop to that level that Jennifer's on.
I love on the way out when Jennifer Aiden says to Rachel, "Don't let the door hit you on the way out." And Rachel says, "There's not a door, you effing idiot."
Keep it moving. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. There's no door, asshole.
Or no, asshole.
Yeah.
There's no door, asshole. That's the best line. That's the best comeback.
Jennifer Aiden did not look good. And did you see Bill? He's like, I'm not getting into any of this. I'm not going over to support her nor try to help her in any kind of way.
No,
because I can't support this.
All the men just stand back.
We've been involved too much.
That's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, don't.
Men should not get involved in ladies' drama.
Not even try to simmer it down like Bill tried to do.
Husbands should not get involved in their drama. That's their thing. Men can come off very aggressive, and you got to stay out of it.
What?
Yeah.
And men come off aggressive? Punching tables and stuff?
Yeah, and I'm going to get aggressive if people don't follow us on social media.
I'm going to get aggressive if people don't start buying some merch.
Love, love, love.
Well, to keep us from being so aggressively aggressive.
From us being angry cocaine bears.
Actually, it's because we're insecure and we're jealous.
I'm jealous because I'm insecure.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm insecure because I'm jealous.
Yeah, see, we're different.
Jealousy is a disease. Get well soon.
So you guys help our insecurity and jealousy by just follow us.
You used that brain cell real hard earlier.
On social media. Oh, yeah.
That was rough.
You guys, that bit of wisdom I had before the
little
break.
Freudian slip or something.
Took it out of me. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. We are The Real Housebears. On Twitter, we are Real Housebears. And you can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
You could also buy merch at realhousebears.redbubble.com.
We did it right this time.
I did it right this time. I don't know if you guys could tell in the last one, it was totally dubbed over. So badly.
If you didn't notice it, you check your hearing.
Yeah. So go buy some merch. Go get a Weekend D hat. Let everybody know you're looking for that Weekend D. Or go get a Hot Closet shirt. Let everybody know that you support the Bears. Yeah. Or just get a Real House Bear shirt. Yeah. It's great. You can also watch us on YouTube, watch us on Spotify, The Real House Bears. You can also listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts. But if you're on Apple Podcasts, we haven't had a hashtag House Bears Famous fan in a while because nobody's leaving us a 5-star rating and a cute little review. So if you do, we're going to make you... Listen, if you've already made one, make another one. Be twice the House Bears Famous.
House Bears it up.
All right, I hope everybody has a good day, night, evening, midnight, 3 a.m., whenever you're listening to us.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Let's see if this thing is working. The mic.
Are we checking right now?
We are. I think you should pull that camera down a little bit. Not put so much headspace over us.
Like that?
That's probably better.
That's much better, Terror.
Here we go.
There we go. See, we're so good at stuff.